What's up, everybody? It's Nick. It's 7 o'clock. Man, I got a lot of stuff I want to share with you all, and so I'm going to wait a few minutes for some of you all to jump online. What's up, Matt, Savannah, Murky? Going to wait a few minutes to let some people jump online, but we have several things to discuss tonight. Miss Savannah, how are you? And exciting things. I mean, so hopefully we got some good stuff to talk about, and in a situation that seems kind of bleak, that seems kind of bad, hopefully we got some good stuff. So Kim, Cheryl, Amanda, Sherry, Pam, Miss Brenda, one of my favorite people. If you guys are here, let me know you're here. Hit a like, let me know. We'll wait about one more minute and we'll kind of jump into this. Don't want to leave you waiting too much. Oh my gosh, Matt, I know Brady left. It like pains me. I mean, it pains me deep. It really kind of wrecks me. For those of you who don't know, I'm a huge Tom Brady fan. And so, Miss Carol, how you doing? Jason from Arizona is checking in with us. What's up, Jace? I saw you guys' video earlier, Jace. It was killer, actually. Love what you guys are doing down there. All right. Hey, we're going to jump into this. You can always go back and watch it, but we got a few people on. Hey, couple things I want you to know about. We're going to update you. And then at the end of this, I want you to know I'm going to hang out for a bit. If you have questions, if you want to kind of walk through some stuff, I'm just going to stay on. I don't do that, but I get it's a little bit of a different situation going on right now. And man, for some, it's scary. For others, it's exciting. And actually, in a few minutes, I want to talk to you about how I think you should see this situation, because it's probably a little different than some people say. But couple really cool things to celebrate for us as a church as we walk through this. Shelly and Brian, what's up? How you guys doing? Mike and Talera here. But a couple things. One, our Feeding America, man, in the midst, when everybody's hunkering down, I want you to know that we had so many incredible volunteers. We fed 750 people yesterday. So cool. Excited to do that. Matter of fact, let me let you know something. We're doing such a great thing here that another county in the state was making decisions on their Feeding America. And they actually called us today to ask for some help. And so it's incredible what we're doing. And it was exciting that not only are we influencing people here, but our influence is starting to spread and go out to different places. And so we're excited about that. Prudy, how you doing? And so that's what Feeding America happened. We are tornado relief to Nashville. We raised, I want you to know, in a week and a half. So just a short amount of time. I want you to know that we raised $7,280. And so we're excited about that. We're going to be writing a check here really quickly to an organization, and just so grateful for all of your generosity, what you gave. That was so cool. It was awesome. Yes, Carol, you're absolutely right. 750 families, way more people. No, thank you for that. It actually was. And so we got that. We got our items sent to Tennessee. So we had a flatbed kind of trailer, semi-trailer that we filled up with a whole bunch of stuff. We got that out to Tennessee to Mission 615. Eric Anderson's the pastor down there. Incredible guy. And they got an incredible mission to the homeless down there. And so we got to help them, support them, and give them tents, tarps, all kinds of crazy stuff. That was so cool. And so anyway, we got that going on. And then the last kind of just housekeeping thing is, man, we are working on so many new things. This has been, believe it or not, for us, kind of a crazy mixed up blessing. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But we're working on a whole bunch of things. We're working on small groups, e-groups, and what that looks like. We're working on some other outlets, and excited to talk about those this weekend. We're kind of putting some finishing touches on a lot of different initiatives. We're trying to get a kind of a permanent studio that we're building around here that we can kind of do some stuff with and film a lot of content to get you more And then the other thing I'll say before I kind of walk into it is I want to say, Jamie, thank you for doing that too. Yes. What's up, Mark? The other thing that I want to say is this, that Friday night we're working on something. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull it off. Probably shouldn't even mention it, but that's kind of how I do things. Friday night we're going to be doing something special. So keep your calendars open, and I know they are open because y'all can't do anything. You guys are stuck at home doing nothing. You're not going to the movies. You're not going to the bars. You're not going out to eat. And so keep your Friday night cleared. We're trying to pull off something that we think will be incredibly helpful and cool to do. And so anyway, that's kind of what we got going on, and kind of some filler stuff. Here's some updates that you really do want to know about. Obviously, we shut down this past weekend. Nothing has changed. So we're taking this week to week. We don't want to rush into any judgments. And so, we don't have an end date for this. What we do have is we're going to constantly evaluate it. We're going to look at it. And so this weekend, just like last weekend, we're doing church completely online. You're going to see some differences. But man, let me just say this. If you watched and you liked the pre-show or the post-show, man, let us know down there. I thought they did a great job. We're playing with that a little bit more. And so would love to hear from you all if you thought that was really cool and enjoyed that. We're messing with that, and we're gonna take that to another level, hopefully, and working on that. But everything in face-to-face, our governor's asked us not to meet in groups of 10 or more. And so small groups, youth group, all that kind of stuff, we put a pause on that. And so we're gonna honor that process. We're gonna take it week by week. And so we'll let you know the moment something changes, you will be the first to know. We'll walk through that and do that. So anyway, that's kind of some announcements on what's going on. Next step, we got some stuff. Here's what I want to say tonight. I thought the ladies killed it too. Thank you. As I was praying over several different things, a passage jumped out to me. It's a passage familiar to me. If you know our church, it's familiar to you. And it was Isaiah 43. And that's the verse that our church was kind of founded on. And I felt like I was supposed to go back to that and kind of start to reread that again. And if you don't know it, let me read it to you. It says this, it's Isaiah, and it says, "Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I'm making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wastelands." If you joined us this year, in the very beginning, I'm talking like the first week of 2020, you know that we started a series called Prehab, and little did we know, but we said from day one, man, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when something happens. And boy, has something happened. And now I don't think it's an accident. We're in a series entitled Awaken, where we're talking about the wilderness. We're talking about Jesus willingly walking into the wilderness. And I asked you, I said, listen, I believe leaders willingly walk into the wilderness. I believe followers get dragged kicking and screaming. And so I believe we're in this season where I feel like some of us were walking into it willingly. Some of us were getting dragged kicking and screaming. But as I thought about what we're teaching on and where we're going, and then this passage, when it says now it springs up, do you not perceive it? I'm making a way in the wilderness. Here's what I want to say to you tonight. Here's hopefully an encouragement to you, and maybe some coaching on some levels. As I've been thinking about this and I've been talking with people, so many people, rightly so, they see the tragedy in this. They see all the problems, they see the frustrations, they see the economy, they look at their current financial situation, they see the potential outbreak, pandemic of the virus, they see so many different things. And in the middle of that, I think we're all potentially missing something. I said it a week and a half ago that I believe in every tragedy, there's an opportunity. And part of me is kind of excited about this. There's a level that I'm walking into this tragedy, into this chaos, into this pandemic, kind of excited on some levels because I can kind of see it. And so as I was coming back to this, what jumped out to me was, as Isaiah's walking this, it's in the wilderness. It's in and here's what I want to see, a physical wilderness but there is a spiritual oasis. That everything is dry, that everything is just dead, that it's struggling to live. And yet God points us out and he says, listen, even in the driest, just worst, most bleak situations, even when there's a physical wilderness, I can provide a spiritual oasis. And he says, listen, I'm bringing up streams. I'm doing these incredible things. And then he asks the question, don't you perceive it? What I would ask you tonight as you walk through maybe one of the scariest, most confusing, frustrating seasons of your life is, I know you see the negative, but can you perceive? Can you receive? Can you see what God is doing in the positive? As I said, every tragedy comes with an opportunity. And for many of us, if all we look at is what's going wrong, if all we look at is the negative of, oh, I've heard people talk about, my kids are at home and, I got 4 weeks with them or 8 weeks with them. I don't even know what to do with them. Or I'm going to be stuck at home for a week. They're going to quarantine me or whatever. Those are negative things on some level, but couldn't you leverage them for something amazing? Couldn't you do something incredible about it? Can't you see that God may be doing something new? I run into so many people and they want a reset button. They want to restart. And what if this is the reset button? I mean, think about it. Here's what he says. He says, I'm doing something new. What if it's this season that some of you, and I hear it all the time and I struggle with it. What if in a season where you normally don't have the time to spend with God, God's given you more time? What if in this season, the time that you're frustrated, you don't have enough time with your kids and you know it and they're getting older and whatever. What if this is the season that is a blessing that God's saying, no, I'm gonna put you together. I'm gonna force you together. And you didn't ask for it and you may not even want it, but it's what you need. See, here's where I want to encourage you. And here's what I don't want you to do. Don't waste the wilderness. Don't waste the wilderness. All of us are walking through this wilderness. We can't choose it. Like none of us got up and said, man, I hope a pandemic kills us all. None of us do that. What it is all of us walk through it, but only some of us will reap the benefits. Only some of us are going to perceive and see what God will do. See, here's what I noticed today, and I'd never seen this before. Several verses earlier in verse 8, it says this. He's talking to Lisa. He says, listen, lead out those who have eyes but are blind, who have ears but are deaf. Here's my hope and prayer for you. Every one of you has eyes and ears, but that doesn't mean you see and hear what God's doing. My hope and prayer for you really in this season, as we all walk through it, is that you would see the spiritual oasis, that you would sense and hear the calling of God to lean into him, to quit focusing so much on your stress and start to lean into God's strength, that you would trust in him more, that you would see this as something beautiful potentially. But even in the midst of chaos, there's a God who creates beauty. And so I just want to ask this question, then I'm going to shut up and I'll take questions, and the whole deal is this. What new thing is God wanting to do? I mean, for God to do something new, he says, listen, I'm doing something new here. Now it springs up. Don't you perceive it? What new thing, what new habit, what new behavior, what new mindset do you need to have in this season? Maybe you're just kind of negative. Like you own it. Like everything's negative. And people call and they're like, how you doing? You're like, oh, okay. And what God's saying is, no, I need you to walk out of here with a new mindset. Maybe it's some new habits that you don't, like you own it, like you don't spend enough time with God. You don't read your Bible enough. You don't pray enough. And God's like, all right, I'm going to give you some time. Go. I'm going to ask you to lean into me. Or maybe you've got to create some new disciplines, okay, that are different than habits, some things that you're going to avoid. I mean, I've always see habits as things you do and disciplines you do them, but you can also avoid them. What are the things you need to get rid of? See, here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to get through it. I don't want you to waste the wilderness. I don't want you to Netflix binge through the whole thing or video game play it or just kind of struggle through it. No, I want you to bust through it. And on the other side, because we're going to make it, we're going to be fine. It's going to be okay. On the other side of it, you perceived it. You saw God through it. And because you perceived it, you were able to receive it. And you are different because of this season. You didn't waste the wasteland. That's my hope and prayer for you. And so anyway, that's what I got for you, man. I really am, believe it or not, I'm pumped. We have been working nonstop, really just trying to get ready, do some different stuff. And so I'm in a great place. Pray for our church and our leaders as we walk through this. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to hang on a little bit. I'll just sit here and just, do you have any questions for me, for the church, what we're doing, anything specific? Again, we normally don't do that, but we recognize that this is kind of a different season. And so want to make sure that we're available, that we're listening, that we're answering your questions. And so I'm going to listen and sometimes I don't get questions immediately. And so that's kind of a struggle. So I see what up here. Jamie, Nick, are there any plans to do something for the kids for Sunday services? Or maybe it already exists. I don't know. My son is pre-K and talks about River Lake kids all the time. Love that. He keeps asking when he can go back. Well, that's incredible. So yeah, we are working on something. And we're gonna talk more about that Sunday, but we are absolutely working on something with that. And just had a meeting with our kids director, Lisa Robertson, who's incredible, and talked today. And we actually have something pretty unique, actually, I'm hoping. So we'll talk more about that Sunday, but that's a great question. And we're working on a few things with that. So will YouTube Live be available Sunday? Yes, as long as we can get it working. We're gonna try to have 3 platforms ready, 2 of them being Facebook and YouTube, and we're working on a 3rd one, hopefully, that we'll talk a little bit more about later. That is, if you're not on YouTube or Facebook, you can still access what we're walking through. But yes, YouTube, it ended up being available later, but we had kind of a misstep in the beginning walking through that. So that's a great question. Is it okay to share this live? Of course, Brenda. Yeah, of course you can share that. So Lisa and Heather are the dynamic duo. Yes, they did a great job, actually. No, I loved their energy, and they will be back this weekend. So the dynamic duo will be back this weekend, walking through some fun stuff. So anybody else, any other questions? Trying to think of anything else we can talk about, give some people a chance to ask some questions as we walk through this. If our offering is cash, when can we drop that off? Great work you guys are doing. Man, that is my favorite question right there. So just kidding. No, that's a great question. Thank you, Ryan. I didn't even think about that. So yeah, obviously the easiest way to give would be to online recurring giving. But yes, you can always drop off. You can mail it to our church. Our address is 2870 North Jackson Highway. Or we're still in office hours. Robin and I are here most days, Monday through Thursday. But obviously, anytime you can drop that off, we would be honored. And yeah, appreciate you thinking about that as we walk through that. Because again, we're not backing down. We're not stepping back. We're actually stepping into it and going full bore with this. So with all the social distancing is the way to get involved in helping the community, especially the elderly people. Matt, love your heart. So yes. There's an email that was sent out. I'm not sure it went out to the whole church. Robin or Jan can speak to that. But we're actually trying to do something different where we're going to try to partner people's specific skills with specific needs. And so we're working on something. And so, Matt, if you can respond, did you get an email about that asking, because I know we sent an email out asking a certain group, and I don't know if it went out to the whole church. But we are working on some ways that we can do that towards one-on-one with people that we trust and connect them to do that. So, so thank you for this, Nick. Thank you, Enjoy. I didn't. Okay, Matt. So Brenda got the email. Yeah, so I'll make sure that we send that out, and that's one of the things that we want to do is connect with that. So actually, Jan just put it on there. I'm assuming that's what that is. So thank you, Jan, for that. Yeah, if you want to help, if you want to connect with us, would love for you to click on that and kind of do that. So that's a great thing. And we've got a couple things that we're working on also, but I can't really share them. I got to tell you guys, we're working on like 10 things right now. And so we have never, in my mind, been more busy than in this season, and it's exciting. And I really do think it's going to be a great thing. I will take a couple more minutes and listen, and I'll say this is kind of when we talk about social distancing, I think there's a difference between physical distance and emotional distance. And so here's what I want to say. We are working on those e-groups. If you have never been in a group or you've thought about it or whatever, I want to encourage you when we launch them, when we're ready to do that, and hopefully we're really close, I want to encourage you to sign up for them. Pick a time and go, because now more than ever do we need to stay connected. Now more than ever do we need a group of people that we can kind of walk through and share life with and kind of walk through that whole thing so that people can be praying for us, people can be walking through life with us, people can be spending time with us, and we just share stories. And so, I'm excited about that opportunity and technology that we're using for that. So, I miss our small group already too. That's great. All right. Well, hey, I don't want to keep you on all night. I'm excited. I want you to know this. Here's at the end of the day, last thing. I really am excited. In the midst of all of this chaos and frustration, I do believe that we willingly walked into this, and God's going to do something incredible on the other side of it. So I really do. I pray that you join us, that you start to step into some stuff, that you're open to some new things, and you allow God to use you in a mighty, mighty way. All right. As always, you can always reach out to us if you got questions. I'm going to be on Facebook Live Friday again, hopefully announcing some fun stuff and some new stuff, and we will go from there. Hey, love you all, praying for you all. And we will see you, not face to face, but we will see you digitally really soon. God bless.